Hi everyone, just stopping in to share a needlebook birthday present that I've made for a friend of mine. Unfortunately, it is a belated birthday present. I did not get it out to her in time, but I did want to make her a gift, and we both love sewing and crafting, paper crafting, which is how I met her online. And I decided to do a needlebook. She makes the most beautiful flowers, and so that still has to do with a little bit of sewing. So I thought this was appropriate. This is bridal applique that's yardage at Joann's. The book itself is covered with lace that I picked up in the remnant section, and this is sewed over the felt that comes from Joann's. And then there is a little 1/8" cream ribbon that is holding this little pretty little pendant here. It's got a bobbin and some beads, and I think a little flower at the end there. On the front here is a bead landing sewing charm with, again, some other little goodies here. And the flower itself is from Michael's. This is a stick pin that I made. We both like making stick pins, and I thought that was just a pretty little touch. There are a lot of videos on YouTube showing needle books, and a lot of them have stick pins in it, and there's one more that's inside the book. And that is way back here. This is how thick and chunky the book is itself, and there's lots of goodies inside that she can use. This is not a sewing exclusively book. Again, we like to do paper crafting, and many of these things that are vintage pieces can be used for her projects. So opening this up, this is held together by a sari silk tied. It's tied both front and back, and then also has ribbons placed over the edges there just to cover that up. Oh, hang on here. So the book itself has mixes of current and vintage pieces in it. This is a pocket in the front, and I printed off some printables for spools, and I'll show you that website in just a minute. This is DMC 224, which is like a blush pink, and I really like that. It works well for shabby and vintage projects, so she has that to use. Her letter, or the letter for her name, is Elizabeth, and then this is actually a printed muslin banner, and the words for you printed on there also, or stamped on there. Just more stamping, friendship, and this says, remember that you're the one who can fill the world with sunshine. And that is a great little stamp that I have. I like using that quite a bit. More bead landing scissor charms. I did sew some beads on the pages throughout. I can't remember all the laces. I do believe that may have been some vintage lace. This is definitely a vintage doily. So when I flip the page, again, this is just pinned on, and I think I have a couple of stitches tacking the bottom so it didn't flop around. But the bulb pins are nice for holding these objects on to the page itself, and the felt is a nice thickness so that you can grab some threads on this side or on the other side and not have it show. This is another spool that I printed off, and this is DMC 842, and that way if she does actually use embroidery flosses, she will know what numbers these are. Again, this is current lace trim, and then a friend of mine had sent that to me, and she had already run some lace through there, or not lace, I'm sorry, some ribbon through that, and the colors were perfect. Here is another stamped item or image that I made. It said, life doesn't have to be perfect to be wonderful, with some more beading. This is actually vintage lace, top and bottom here. I do remember that one. This is her needle page. We both enjoy making stick pins. These stick pins come from Hobby Lobby in the bridal section. It has little rondelles that are already attached to it, and then some glass head pins, and then some all-purpose, I think, little needles there. This fabric with the tape measures on it came from a jelly roll of fabric strips that are 2.5 inches wide. I just cut that down so that it fit on the page. They are vintage buttons themselves though. And I just sewed on a couple other glass beads. Again, this is more of the vintage trim that I had quite a bit of. I did make her a snippet lace snippet. I have lots and lots of laces. I stamped an image, a stamp on some muslin and used that for the back. This is vintage lace that I have. This piece is more of what I already used for on the project itself. So that was just like a leftover scrap. This is vintage. And this actually came from AliExpress, I believe. And then just more modern. And this little snippet right here, that's a real snippet, is vintage, as well as the additional piece. This is another bead landing charm with a button, held on with a bulb pin, and I love this page. These are just so cute. These are little charms by Art C, and I will bring those up. She loves butterflies and just thought that I would attach those few right there. This is incredible tatting. I hope that you can see that. Again, given to me, gifted to me in a couple different colors. I do tat myself. I haven't tried anything this small, but I do want to make some more trim. So this is not mine, but I do love it, and hopefully that is in focus for you. So when we flip this page over, we have vintage shell buttons, or the abalone. Those are really, really cute. This is just a trim from Joann's. It's also placed on the bulb pin that is not sewn down. And then this little bobble, I don't even know what these things are called, is also from Hobby Lobby that was in a pack by the sewing department. And we both like birds and flowers and all those cool little things. So that's just pinned onto there. On the back side is another flower charm, more of that tatting trim. This is an applique from AliExpress. This was, I can't remember if I purchased that or if that was gifted to me. But I do also have the edges lined here with this very small dainty trim. I love this. It's so pretty. And then if we turn the page again, this is some more trim that she can cut down and use, or use as is. And that came from Joann's. This is a vintage doily piece that I cut apart off of a project, or it was a, what do you call it? Just a centerpiece doily, and then some other flower trim. I did make this stick pin, and my favorite colors are aqua, and this is just one that I wanted to send to her. So these pages are all trimmed and lined in lace. On the back side of that are just some more pieces that she can use, and these came from Hobby Lobby. These are also in the bridal section. More of the vintage lace here. This piece is probably very old. My friend Laura shared this with me, and actually the lace, it comes in wide lace, and this is a center medallion part of that, and this piece has been cut off of that. But I do have more of the original lace, which is absolutely gorgeous. So hopefully she can find a purpose to use that. On the back side of this is another vintage doily, just a pin to hold that down, and one of the Tim Holtz, I don't even know what these kind of pins are called, but anyway, so I just added some little bead charms there. And this one has a little blue stone in it. So again, these are just all pieces that she can use in her projects. This is another, so this pocket on this page is actually a flag shape that was part of a longer piece. I just cut that off, and it actually fit for the pocket there. This is another printed spool, and this lace comes from Hobby Lobby in the, it's a yardage piece that you would have cut. So I'm sharing that with her. And on the back of this, again, here's our little bows to cover up the tight ends. And on the back, I just stamped and sewed that on, inspired by life and created by hand, one of a kind art created by myself. So I hope you like this. I love, love, love how this looks, and I hope that she can use all the little pieces. I hope she does use this. I don't want her to keep it together and just look at it, although that's great too, but I'm hoping that she'll use the pieces and the things that are in here. So I'm going to set this aside. I just want to share, actually, maybe, it doesn't want to stay closed. This is the website of the printables that I printed this off on. It is a freebie that she has on her website, and it's called Astrid McLean. And Astrid's, let's see, Astrid's Artist Efforts, blogspot.com. So again, thank you for watching. Hope you love this. I was inspired by a lot of different videos that I also watched. Mrs. Coggs has a great video, and although I didn't use fabric and sari like she did, I definitely liked her pocket ideas, and there are many others too. So again, hope you liked this as much as I did, and thanks for watching. Appreciate it.